Ah, fuck me. Fuck me.
I don't know what that's supposed to be.
I don't know either.
I don't know what that's supposed to be. Link's Awakening D years later on the Game Boy.
Or Zelda 2 did not work.
I don't know what that's supposed to be.
Hey, what's up? So, I was streaming earlier, but my power flickered. That's my problem. And that was my bad. I'm sorry. I forgot to pay my electric bill. You know, hint, hint, tips. Fuck, no. I'm not going to do that. Honestly, it was my error. It was my error, guys. Because that was fucking weird, dude. Yeah, sorry about that. No. This wasn't my internet bill. My power flickered in my house. So, and no, I did pay my internet bill and my light bill. So I paid both. I don't know why, but for some reason, for like the past few days, I've been having some issues with my my electric. What I was going to try to do was I was going to finish up this video and I was going to call it quits for the night. But I'm not going to leave everybody hanging with it. So, yeah, I'm not going to be a dick about it. Oh, yeah, they definitely happen. A lot. They happen. King Cobra summoned a storm. Actually, it's not even storming outside, dude. Although, granted, it would be fucking hilarious, but still. Oh, I had 2 dislikes on my stream. Oh, boo-hoo. Alright, so I'm going to do that just in case. Submit. Sold meat. Limited. Of course they are. Not surprised. Alright. I'm going to wait a little bit. But I do have one thing, though, because what I might do after this, since I oh, okay. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to finish up this video, because I have barely any time left. Dent's going to did. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. So, we're back to this. What's up, Berserker Snake?
With the it's the direct sequel to Legend of Zelda.
This is where we're at. So, I remember where it stopped, where the power went click, and back on again, because something hates me. I think Phil heard me.
But it plays nothing like Legend of Zelda. They went for this weird other direction with the franchise, turning it into a 2D platformer action game with RPG elements instead of retaining the top-down, you know, exploration and stuff of the original. Now, there is top-down gameplay in Zelda.
Okay, so as I was saying before, the reason why they were doing that with fucking Link's Adventure of Link, because they were trying to figure out what would work. They're trying to find a formula that would stick. Unfortunately, when this game came out, not a lot of people saw it as a good change. They thought it was very weird. Even in a retrospective, people don't really like this game that much.
Zelda 2. But it's just the world map. Once you get into any kind of a dungeon or town, the entire game changes. Also, Zelda 2 has traditional towns where you go in, it's safe. And
there's towns you can go in, you can fuck a hooker, find a guy that says, my name is Error.
People you talk, townspeople, you go inside houses. Like, you don't really necessarily do that in Zelda 1. You do that in Zelda Link to the Past, where there actually is a whole town you can go into.
Yeah, Kakariko Village.
And you can explore and talk to the town.
But it was only one town, not multiple.
Townspeople, but it's from a top-down perspective.
Yeah, Yeah, here's the funny thing, Pinko. I am live. My power flickered, cut the stream, and I came right back.
So,
because honestly, I don't like leaving you guys hanging on this. I'm actually going to finish this, and I'm actually going to call it quits after this, funny enough. And yeah, what's up, Kramer?
so it's kind of interesting that Adventure of...
What sparked this whole thing off was originally me watching his food review, which was terrible. And then I decided to fucking quit it. Matsatsu, how he bored us originally, or how he infuriated people, was the 50 foods list that I fucking hate. I had to quit because he made a shit joke about biscuits and gravy, and it was very fucking disgusting. I'm not repeating it. Went to play Power Wash Simulator, and I went back because I heard someone say he said shit about Frito pie. I'm like, what did he say about my beloved Frito pie? So I had to come back and watch it.
Link went so
And then I decided to go on his second worst tier maker list.
different in another direction. Now, I played it last
No, it's all good. So, like I said, power flickered. I'm back.
year. And man, I'm going to tell you something. That shit is not fair.
Also, big ups to you too, Hood Hustler.
That game has some really unfair parts where you have to fight a ridiculous amount of tough enemies in a row, and there is like no healing or anything. You know what I'm saying?
Again, Phil, it was them trying to do something different. You know what change is, right?
It's just really annoying. It's like in a lot of cases.
I say like I got no contributions. No, for those that did contribute in the last stream, I heavily appreciate it. I appreciate the contributions. But I'm still gonna keep going. Like, honestly, I'm not gonna hold an obligation over everyone's head if they're gonna give me money. I'm not gonna tell them you got to give me money. Tips are mandatory. Instead, it is what it is. Like the content, do whatever you wish.
You have to die first to know it's coming, so then you know to have the resources available to get past it. But you can't know what's coming until you get to it. So you're.
But then again, you don't know jack shit about it. So what NES games were known for was trial and error. But he's saying that in modern games, that trial and error don't really exist anymore. And he's like, oh, no, this game is trial and error.
You're destined to fail, and then go back and redo it and prepare properly. You see what I'm saying? And I didn't like that. In any
Yes, duty, I'm still asleep.
game, I feel like you should have an honest shot to one-shot it if you're good enough. And I actually feel like with Adventure of Link, because of the way they designed it, you know, stacking so
And he had to turn down his AC unit. Even though mine's up, I know y'all can hear mine, so.
many tough enemies in one room or whatever, and you don't have to, you know, oh, I didn't save my resources because I didn't know this was coming. That's kind of unfair. You know what I'm saying?
Phil, that's the whole thing with trial and error. You don't know what's coming, and yet you're figuring out things as you go. That's challenge. That is always good. Granted, some cases it doesn't work. But you want to say that modern games are doing this when they don't.
So
He didn't like the trial and error in Zelda, but isn't that also all Dark... Yeah, exactly. Dark Souls is the same fucking way. Elden Ring is the same fucking way.
me, Adventure of Link is a good game. I actually like a lot of the music of it. I thought the soundtrack was one of the best things about it. But
I could try to, but I might be asleep.
there was definitely a lot of very annoying things about the game. Do you remember sometimes you're in a world map and all of a sudden you're randomly teleported to a challenge, like a combat challenge? Like, what the hell is that about?
Because they were trying to implement RPG elements, Phil? Because they were trying to figure out a formula for Zelda that would work, but people didn't like that one for Link Adventure of Link? Duh.
Why is this in the middle of the game like almost like a random encounter in Final Fantasy, but then you have to play the game with action?
Phil, that's not a random encounter at all. It's more like a Tails encounter where you see the enemy on screen, they come running after you, you get into a combat, boom, you're in the middle of combat. So you know what's coming. So this isn't random encounters. Also, what's up, Chance?
It was weird. It was almost like the game didn't know what it wanted to be. And it's weird also because that was
Nof, nof.
the only Zelda ever that
I'm Swedish. Nof, nof, nof.
they made in that style. They made the one that after that they went back to top down, then it went to full 3D, and they never went back. They never tried to make a 2D Zelda as like a platformer ever again.
They had some elements where they went back to trying it. Actually, no, they did, Phil. It was called Link's Awakening.
Gave up on.
What's up, Maximus? You know what, Maximus? Come here. Come here for a second. God damn it. You need to get higher. So, I'll do this. There we go. God damn it. I hate... That's one thing I don't like. Is this. There we go. There we go. I know you. Okay, back to this.
On it after that one. So...
Well, yeah, Link's Awakening did that whole thing with the side-scrolling parts. They've done it.
For me...
Oh, trust me. Welcome to my hell.
All right, I look at Adventure of Link and I can say, you know, well, good on them for trying something, but I don't think it worked.
If it didn't work, Phil, then why was it in Link's Awakening? So, things that didn't work. This is the same thing as well. He tried doing that same thing as well with The Sims 4, saying that certain elements of Sims 4 nobody liked about it and that it's a failure, yet it still maintains a high player base and it has more expansions coming along the way while making the original game free to play. So it is a smart move, Phil, that EA did that. I know this is a weird comparison, but he does this a lot, and he wants to say, oh, it's a failure. It's a failure. Also, yes, Sid, he has 16, 17... no, actually, no, not at that point. He was going to put one more on there, but I would say 16 for right now.
I actually think
He has a lot of games that he's not played.
it kind of failed and didn't do...
But in Phil's case, like Ancient Stone Tablets, BS, The Legend of Zelda, or the Zelda Game & Watch games, he's never played those. Or the Picross ones.
as well as they had intended it to do. So I'm going to actually say Adventure of Link, sadly, is going to rank about a C for me.
It's pretty fair ranking. I would put it at a C tier. Like, granted, I would give it a little higher for its history, but no, C tier.
I really don't think it's that good of a Zelda game compared to many others. It's not as fun to play. It's very, very annoying.
It's very, very annoying, but you like certain elements of it.
And they gave up on it after that one because they realized how bad it was.
Nah, but they still put elements into it in Link's Awakening, even the remake.
Okay? So I'm giving it a C.
Taking a swig of his gin thermos.
Now, in the meantime, first of all, I received a super chat from Dowling. Legitimately 100 likes for the night. No, you guys are half. Zelda, our goal.
Oh, here we go.
That means tonight we will have a full screen.
Nope, 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 nope. Fuck off,
Everyone,
fuck off.
We got more to rank. Again, thank you. If you could support the stream tonight, I would really appreciate it.
I was going to say, my voice is somewhat annoying. I know that for a fact. Sometimes my voice can be very annoying. But I know you're talking about Phil here, so yeah.
If you did. All right. Link's Awakening, Nintendo Switch version.
He didn't play the original Link's Awakening or the deluxe version. Or, excuse me, dicks.
All right. So, interesting thing here about this game. I did play this in 2019, and I didn't know anything about
What they gave up on his style after 2 games were drastically different. What a jump statement. Pretty much.
Link's Awakening. I just knew it was a Game Boy game that I never...
He's talking about the side-scrolling stuff, like how it's open world, but it goes to 2D side-scrolling stuff. But then again, as mentioned, Link's Awakening did that.
Never played. When I played the Switch version, first of all, they had redone the graphics completely to be 3D.
Yeah, and people that I've talked to don't like it because it's chibi Zelda or chibi Link with dead eyes.
So it was kind of interesting. It kind of looked cutesy cartoony, but then I realized, oh my god, it's literally the direct sequel to A Link to the Past.
No, I do not. No,
It plays exactly like A Link to the Past.
No, it does not, Phil. Plays entirely different.
Okay?
Because I didn't think A Link to the Past had 2D side-scrolling elements.
That's really cool. I was actually blown away because I didn't know that about the
Oh, he didn't excuse himself. How disgusting.
game originally. I thought that it was just like some very different kind of spin-off game because the Game Boy couldn't really handle it. But actually, it's really good. If you like Link to the Past, you will absolutely love Link's Awakening. All right? It has a unique story about this bird and egg hatching and everything on an island and everything there. It's very different than the story of the other Zelda games, for sure. You know, him getting shipwrecked and waking up on the island. As Link's Awakening, he wakes up. The question is it real? Or is it, again, is it like Majora's Mask? Is this a hallucination that didn't really happen? Or is it really happening, right?
The events of Majora's Mask happened. The events of fucking Link's Awakening was a dream. But who knows? It's open to interpretation.
What I can tell you is, I really liked the game, but I will wholeheartedly admit that number one, it's nowhere near as good as Link to the Past. It's not as long. It doesn't have the whole two worlds aspect to it. Like,
It didn't have to. That's the problem. It didn't have to. Oh, but it's not like Link to the Past. It's not like Link to the Past how it had two worlds. Not all games have to copy Link to the fucking Past.
Link to the Past does.
Shut up. It doesn't have to copy it. Like Sid said in my chat, every story in Zelda is unique and different.
I actually don't think that the story is even
No, he probably thought Link was Zelda, or vice versa.
as good. All right. It is a shorter game as well. It's not as long as other Zelda games because it was for Game Boy.
But it still had a lot of content for it, for what it was worth. I will say the original Link's Awakening, for what it's worth, was good. It provided a lot of content on a small cartridge. Same thing can be said about Link's Awakening for the Switch.
The Switch version's good. Very good. The way
Exactly, Sid. It's exactly like that. Yes, he does mean the windfish.
that they redid the graphics and everything.
But he thinks because it's in an egg, it's automatically a bird.
But I just don't think it's like an amazing, oh my god, blow me away, outstanding game. So I would probably put it around probably B tier.
Nope. A tier. I believe that this game was an A tier. Granted, it's not good like the other remakes, or in my case, the other 3D Zeldas. It's still good. It is a little better, if not more so, than the originals.
I would say would be where I would put that. Okay, B tier. I don't know what you guys think, but I'm gonna say B tier. All right, fair enough. Now wait a minute. Four Swords Anniversary Edition. I did not play that. We can get rid of that one.
Oh, there's another one that now up to 16.
Ancient Stone Tablets. I don't even know what the hell that is, so I definitely didn't play that one.
Kudos for Phil for that one. I don't know what that is either. So
Get rid of that. Get rid of a few of these. What the hell is BS? The Legend of Zelda? Bullshit Legend of Zelda?
well, this content is definitely bullshit.
It was a bullshit edition? What was that? The bullshit edition. Shout out to Life for Soul who did another super chat.
I don't care, Life for Soul. Shut up!
So, it's like you're telling me, so thank you for sharing. Zelda was a remake.
Oh, here we go.
BS Legend of Zelda was a remake of the first game that was released only in Japan and only playable via a gimmicky live service called Sattel View. Ugh.
Hey, don't shit on the Japanese. They are more technologically advanced than Americans are. Keep that in mind, Philbert, the next time that you get the new PlayStation or the new Nintendo console.
All right. I think we're going to just say I didn't play it, and we're going to put it down here.
Oh, now it is... let's see, 14, 15, 18 now.
That sounds like a headache. So, did I play Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition? No, I did not.
19.
Did I play Hyrule Warriors Legends? No, I did not.
20. Also, the definitive version was on the Switch, and Legends was the 3DS version.
I did play Hyrule Warriors, and we will talk about that. I did not play Cadence... Well, wait a minute. Hold on a second here. I played the demo of Cadence of Hyrule, and it performed so poorly that I actually didn't buy the final game.
I'm calling immense bullshit. Due to the fact that, A, no demo, and B, the game actually ran fine. He didn't like the fact that this game played like Crypta the Necrodancer, which is what this game is based on. The combat-wise, I mean. But it had a Zelda overtone. And the reason why I like Cadence of Hyrule, if I had to put this on the list, I would say this is an A tier. Due to the fact that it had multiple people that made Cadence of Hyrule, same with the music, they were happy to play this, not play the game, but to create this game, to create music for it. One of them being Family Jules, or Jules Conroy, was happy to announce that he was making music for this game, and he was excited that he even said, and I quote, "I am so happy to make Zelda music," and had the permission to do so from Nintendo. He was actually happy to do so. Yeah, exactly. It's a reskin of Crypta the Necrodancer, but it had an original story based around Zelda. So it did have a demo. I never played the demo, honestly. I just bought the game flat out because it's Zelda, and I liked it. And it's an indie title. Plus, the DLC is good, too.
So should I talk? I think I should talk about that.
No, you should not. Don't even rank it. You did not play it.
I think I should be... I think I absolutely should.
It's an A tier game. But it's not for everybody, especially with the combat. It's something you have to get used to.
My Nintendo Picross. No, I never played a Picross Nintendo game.
21.
And I never played Zelda on the Game & Watch.
22.
However, listen to this. I can tell you about what Game Watch is. Do you know what? Does he even know what Game Watch is? Do you know?
He does not know what Game Watch is, but he's going to be like, I had one. He really didn't.
Know what that is? I know what it is. Does anyone know what Game Watch is? I'm just curious if anyone in the chat knows what that means. Game Watch. Do you know?
Nope, don't care.
The fact turned into a is a lot of like 2 or potentially a liquid. The graphics of like it was like it's.
So I'll give you the TLDR version. Tiger Electronics.
The kid owned a he would come in. I owned our I had to watch time. Now I remember correctly and L button and like these back and the brain like and the fucking buttons were popping for your NES and you took a hammer and you went
and I don't know why. I don't know why he has to slam his hand on his plastic table.
Fucking button is the absolute bottom of the barrel.
So he played the Game Watch, which I call bullshit, but did not play original Majora's Mask, did not play original Wind Waker, Four Swords Adventures, the Minish Cap, the original Twilight Princess, Phantom Hourglass, Twilight Princess, well, I guess I said original, Spirit Tracks, Triforce Heroes, or Link's Awakening original, or the Oracle games. Bravo.
Worst experience you could possibly have with a Zelda game.
Oh, well, then again, with that, though, Kramer, there was Game & Watch already. There was one already, Game & Watch. But that's what I was saying with this, though. The Game Watch that he's talking about sounds like Tiger Electronics to me.
It's so pathetically bad. It's laughable they even made the fucking game. I can't believe they...
Yeah, I saw that. I actually saw that, the Game & Watch for Mario and Zelda. I heard those are good.
Did. All right. And it was a ripoff because kids didn't ask for that. Like, literally, children would not ask for these. This was something that the parents didn't understand that was not the game. So they would get, oh, my kid, he plays Zelda all the time. I'll get him the Zelda Watch. So you get him the Zelda Watch, you get it, like, what the fuck is this? Like, what am I... There's no time on it. What was it? Beep, boop, beep, 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 beep. The fuck is this?
Phil, here's the thing about this, and this is why you'll never have a child and you'll never understand children. Children are obsessed with anything. It's Zelda. They see something that it looks like Zelda. They love Zelda. They see that. They play with it. They are obsessed with it. They would like it. This is back in the olden days. They will like it anyway. The problem with this, though, and I'm sorry, Shelter, you had to repress this memory. I'm sorry. I had to bring this shit back up again because it was fucking food list. People will be obsessed with Zelda. They are obsessed with anything. If it's anything that they like, they do not care. They want it. And it actually was a watch. Someone, okay. And did have a clock. Okay, that's the thing, though. A small duel. Yeah. I never had these as a kid, so I'm going to be brutally honest. I never had one. But then again, that thing came out in 89. I was born in 91.
You wear it for 10 seconds, you take it off, you fucking shove it in a drawer, and you never see it ever again.
Just like all your relationships you ever had. Just like all the fucking hopes and dreams you ever had of becoming a better YouTuber. Stuffed in a drawer, never to come out.
You know? So there you go.
The handheld ones, Tiger Electronics. They just call them like Zelda Tiger.
Yeah, so it's junk. Just like the rest of those LED,
Just like your fucking content that I'm reacting to right now.
LCD. They were LCD screen shit. They're junk. Okay. You know what's funny? Because they call it liquid crystal display. And you might say, why'd they call it that? Because back in the day, you could actually take your finger and you could push the screen and you would actually see liquid move in the screen. So, like, though I remember specifically owning Tiger games and then watches, and you could do that, and you would see, like, a ripple in the screen.
Yeah, but the problem with that, though, Phil, it would break the damn screen.
But if you did that...
But then again, they call it LCD or liquid crystals or whatever. Too tired to care. But the reason why they would call it that, because it's fancy, it's new. And people didn't care. They would poke at it, and they would break it.
Half the time, you would break it, too.
Yeah, I'm back. Detract roll. Yeah, power flickered.
You could actually break your game doing that.
Well, duh. No duh. Anyways, what's this? I have to look at this for a second. Yeah, that's what I thought. Hang on. Bringing this into full view. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Yeah, it's like a little tiger Yeah, now I see the watch up there. Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. It's exactly like a tiger watch. Well, not a tiger watch. It's like a Tiger Electronics, but a tinier version. That's exactly what I thought. Huh. Also, no, not starting soon. I'll say stream on hold. There you go. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Pretty nice. Like, cool looking. I'm not gonna lie. It looks neat. Liquid Crystal DSP. Crystal Pepsi. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Yeah, that actually does look cool, though. I'm not gonna lie, it does. Alright, I'm going back to the video. I had to put it on hold for a moment because something popped up whenever I was doing something. And it was like one of my fucking antivirus software things that popped up.
Okay. So let's continue. One other one that I'm just going to right off the bat get rid of. Link's Crossbow training.
This one wasn't so bad. I didn't care for it much, but I'll give it for what it's worth. It was a good tech demo for the Zapper.
Does anyone remember what this is? I want to confirm the year because I think I know what this is.
2007. When the Wii came out, or a year after.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. AVGN for like Tiger Electronics. Anything that I know about like bad retro shit, I learned from AVGN. Thank you, James Rolfe.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Snit.
It is what I thought it was. So Link's Crossbow training is the Wii motion target game. You would take the Wiimote, and remember they used to have the accessory for it called the Zapper, and you would put the Wiimote into the Zapper, and you would aim it at your TV, and you would fire. I don't think I owned it. I think I had the demo. I played it.
I don't think that he ever did any of this. But yeah, you want to know why they called that gun or that accessory for the Wii remote a Zapper? Because it was a callback to the original gun for the fucking NES called the Zapper.
I remember specifically playing it. And let me put it this way. It wasn't bad. But it wasn't good. Like,
yeah, you know that anything will fall under disagreement when the word "but" is uttered. But
it was an oddity because at the time,
yeah, it was one of the highest selling consoles ever.
They were really desperate to try to get people to play the Wii games with the motion controls and to buy all the accessories, right? So you gotta buy the fucking
accessories, not accessories.
Gun accessory. Now, you wanna know what the gun accessory was for the Wii?
Accessory.
A piece of plastic.
Accessory.
All it is a piece of plastic. You take your Wiimote, you put it in, and now instead of pushing the button on the Wiimote, you pull a trigger and it depresses the same exact button that's on the Wiimote, but you can hold it like a rifle or a gun, and it was like $25 for a piece of plastic.
And Nintendo and every other console did the same fucking thing back in quote-unquote your time. Also, Moki, yes, I am. Power flickered, I came back.
It was the biggest ripoff ever.
How is it a ripoff, Phil? People do this all the time. They will sell accessories for it. They still do it to this day. I've seen Joy-Con accessories where you could shove it into like a fucking bat or a sword or a tennis racket. I've seen these, Phil. Hell, they still do it now with Ring Fit Adventure. Nintendo Switch Sports. How is that a ripoff? Nintendo Switch Sports? Yeah. The only good sport on that fucking garbage game was the fucking bowling.
Piece of junk, okay? And not too many good games at all used it. But
not a whole lot of games used it. The only ones that actually used it was Link's Crossbow Training and the Resident Evil Chronicles games. Umbrella Chronicles and Darkside Chronicles.
I remember I had...
And maybe House of the Dead.
I bought it. This is before I was a YouTuber, by the way.
I thought you played the demo.
I was getting back into console gaming heavily, and I got an Xbox 360, a PS3, and a Wii. And I bought a lot of accessories for the Wii. I owned the Wii.
I'm calling bullshit. He didn't buy all these at once due to the fact that he didn't really have a job that could support his condo, his bills, and 1 or 2 consoles or 3 that he's describing. So I'm calling major fucking bullshit.
Wii Fit. I had that wheel for Mario Kart for the Wii.
Because some of them actually came with it.
Where you try to play, and it's like impossible to fucking play, so that you...
Well, that's what if you played with motion controls, Phil. You did, because, oh my god, it's the Wii!
Throw the wheel away, and then you can actually play better with the motion controls.
I forgot about the Medal of Honor game.
Yeah, like, I had all that junk for the Wii, including the Zapper. And so I don't think I bought the Crossbow.
You only had to buy... Yo, you had to buy it separately? I thought you had to buy it, I thought you bought it with it. The Zapper and actually came with it. I remember there was a bundle with it.
Game, but I'm fairly certain I had the demo for it.
You said you bought it. It came with it.
And I hated it. I was like, this is nothing like Zelda.
No fucking shit. It's a rail shooter.
Like, it doesn't... this is... The only branding is that, oh, it's Zelda with the crossbow.
Phil, it's a fucking tech demo. It's an accessory. It's to fucking test it out. That's the whole thing with it. But he doesn't seem to understand that most things out there are tech demos. Fucking, like, Killzone Shadowfall was a tech demo for the PS4. Astro's Playroom, a tech demo for the PS5. Oof.
But, like, literally, it could have been any other characters on the screen, and it wouldn't have mattered. It wasn't like, oh, this is a story of Zelda. It was just a gimmick game that you play for like 10 minutes, you'll never play it again. So, a junk-ass tie-in game to make, you know, basically bank off of the licensing of Zelda, that's a fucking D-tier junk.
I would say C tier, honestly. It's not that bad of a game. It's average, max. I wouldn't call it D like he did.
That is literally like bottom-of-the-barrel crap that no one should be...
How is it bottom-of-the-barrel crap, Phil? How was it that?
wasting their time and money on. And so...
Yeah, see, there were a lot of games that were like tech demos. So why is he complaining?
That's another game.
Oh yeah, Sid. Yeah, totally. 22 games he has not fucking played, and yet he's played 13 of them so far.
Zelda Game Watch and Link's Crossbow Training. Put them at the bottom of your trash can, and then throw all your rotten food on top of them. Poop in the can. I don't know why you would poop in your trash can.
Scat jokes, because they're funny, supposedly. But if you make a sex joke, you're immature.
You know what I'm saying? They're junk. They are.
Yeah, you're junk, Phil, and yet people still love you.
Absolute positive junk. All right? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we are 90 minutes in to this
I am fucking surprised.
tier maker, and now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty, the last few games that I'm actually going to rank for you guys. And then what we're going to do is look at the rankings and see if we agree if any of these should be moved around. All right? Cool. So, thank you for watching. Let's continue on. And let's rank the Muso Zelda games. Does anyone know
Muso. Not Musu.
what Muso is?
Muso. Phil, you do not know how to pronounce fucking words. It's Muso, not Musu. Musu sounds like a shitty dish you would make.
Musu. M-O-S-O-U.
Yeah, that's Muso. Then again, he called Nanako Nanako and Yosuke Yosuke.
A Musu game is a game made popular by the Dynasty Warriors franchise, where essentially your character...
No, hold on.
...is a game made popular by the Dynasty Warriors franchise.
Okay, yeah, it's a genre made popular by that. Yeah,
where essentially your
Correct.
character running out into an open field with a ton of generic enemies coming at you.
Yeah, or just say, yeah, that's a good point. Just say, think Dynasty Warriors. There you go. That's all you need.
And you can use combos and abilities to...
Sid, he's actually... I would say he's not... He's doing it He's doing it unintentionally, but that's how he pronounces his words. He pronounces words wrong, even if the game tells him. Going back to Persona 4, Naoto. The game pronounces it, and you hear the voice actress say, "My name is Naoto." It's like, no, that's not right. It should be Naoto. Well, Phil needs to get out of his Naoto-mobile to go check his tires.
To basically beat up a bunch of these enemies and kind of knock them back and do big, ginormous, colorful combos, big, flashy abilities. Usually, typically in these games, you play as more than one character that you can switch between.
Yeah, I forgot he called Manon Meno, or Mano.
And each one plays a little differently with different combos, different abilities, and the like. But really, it became very, very popular with Dynasty Warriors, all right? So at one point, when Dynasty Warriors was very popular, Nintendo said, oh, we should jump on the bandwagon, because they were looking to license that engine to all these different IPs. And over the years, they licensed it to Zelda,
It was a collaboration between Nintendo and yeah, what was it? Koei Tecmo. That's what it was. It was a collaboration between the two with the Omega Force engine. Or I think that was the developer, I forget. But it was still the same thing. It was a collaboration. They did the same thing with Fire Emblem. Hell, Square Enix did the same fucking thing with fucking Dragon Quest. Twice.
licensed it to Persona.
And also fucking... Yeah, and also fucking Age of Calamity. But that one's a good game. That's an A tier.
What was the other one? To all these different IPs. And over the years, they licensed it to Zelda. They licensed it to Persona.
They did not license it to Persona. You're thinking of Arc Game Systems with a fighting game. Unless you're thinking of Persona 5 Strikers. Then that might be the case, but eh.
What was the other one? Did they license it to like one or two others recently as well? I don't
Dragon Quest.
really remember off the top of my head.
The first Hyrule Warriors game, the one for the original one, I would say C tier. Because it didn't run really well on the Wii U. But and same thing with the 3DS version. That's also a C. Definitive Edition, I would give it a B. But A would be Age of Calamity.
So.
Oh yeah, I forgot Gundam. Well, then again, you're the Gundam fan. I did not know that.
We're talking about Hyrule Warriors, alright? This was the first ever...
I forgot about One Piece. Holy shit, I actually did.
Excuse me. The first ever. Now, wait a minute. Cadence of Hyrule.
Look at him getting distracted.
What was the name of the sequel of Hyrule Warriors?
Age of Calamity.
Was it Age of Calamity? Or
there you go, numbnuts.
was it Cadence of Hyrule?
Cadence of Hyrule was a fucking spin-off of Crypto the Necrodancer with a Zelda paint job.
What's Cadence of Hyrule? I think I'm getting my games crossed.
Well, then again, you can't come up with a story to save your fucking life, so you have to make shit up as you go along.
Cadence of Hyrule is a rhythm game? Oh, I never played that one. Okay.
23.
Did they have Age of Calamity here?
No, because whoever made this list didn't put Skyward Sword HD or Age of Calamity.
I don't think they do, right? No, they don't.
They never have anything, because if it was made after.
So Hyrule Warriors
or
was the
before.
original Muso game. Was it like
Muso.
2014, I want to say? And I believe it was on the Wii U.
It was on the Wii U. Later on, it went over to the 3DS with Legends, which brought in Linkle, which a lot of people loved the loot art, and people did not like Linkle. Then later on, it came over to the Switch for the definitive version, aka bringing Linkle over and adding in Midna and other characters.
And it was, let me put it this way, okay?
Oh yeah, Detractor Doom. Yeah, welcome. Yeah, he put it in there and he gave bullshit context, but put Ocarina of Time 3D in S tier.
It was fun
because he's dumb.
It was actually quite a fun game.
Yeah, he never played Majora's Mask, but he played the 3DS version for what I remember.
Actually really enjoyed it. The problem was the game didn't run very well on the Wii U, meaning there was a lot of issues with the frame rate.
This is the only time I will actually say Phil does have a good point here. The Wii U version, or the original Hyrule Warriors, did not run all that smoothly. The Switch version did, but not the original.
And the thing is, when you're playing a Muso game, and you are going out into an open field, and there's a ridiculous amount of enemies coming at you, what's the one thing you absolutely need to be solid? The frame rate. And if the frame rate is dipping, now you lose control of what's going on in this big combat. And the thing is, in these Muso games, if you die, a lot of the times you got to do...
I just gave up on pronouncing it Muso because he's one of those people, if he tells him that it's pronounced Muso, he's like, nope, it's pronounced Musu. That's the way it's spelled.
The whole level over from the start.
Who is Majora? The mask was a demon that was used. It was used for rituals. It was very demonic. So they sealed away Majora in the mask.
Okay? And I remember specifically that game had a frame rate that would go up and down like this. You know, you'd start
just like your view count and your money count every single fucking month.
Oh, great. And then all of a sudden, oh, here comes a big boss, or here comes a bunch of enemies, and it would go boo and frustrate you. I do remember playing as Zelda, playing as Link. I believe you played as some of the other big warriors, like the Gorons and stuff. That was neat. I actually liked the premise of the game. Neat. I really enjoyed it. The problem was with that frame rate going crazy, it just wasn't as enjoyable of an experience as I would have liked. So I
just like reacting to your content is usually not the most enjoyable experiences, and I could be doing a lot more things. Actually, no. Definitive Edition was on the Switch. They did port it over to the Switch, and it actually improved the frame rate a little bit more. He's talking about the Wii U version.
I remember liking it. I played the whole thing. I remember I played it from start to finish. I did enjoy the playthrough.
No, you didn't.
But the big disappointment was the performance. So, based on that and my memory of it, I mean, it's been almost 10 years ago since I played it, I'm probably going to put it in, like... You know, it's real hard to say. I'm going to have to say C tier. Why?
Like I said, I put C tier for Linkle. Hyrule Warriors Linkle and Hyrule Warriors Original. Definitive version, B. Age of Calamity, A.
I would say, yeah, it's a issue just like Skyward
Oh, trust me, Sid, everybody did.
Sword, the original Skyward Sword, where, sadly, because the controls sucked in Skyward...
Yeah, because, what was it? Cold. The Happy Mask Salesman tells a story about the mask and how it's dangerous, due to the fact that it was used for ancient rituals by a tribe, most likely like an Aztec tribe, and they would use it for sacrifices. So, it was an evil mask. Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, what's up, Gorik? Same. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Same thing, man. Greetings from the South in Texas.
Skyward Sword, the game would have been a solid B or maybe an A, but it's a C. Same thing. Like Hyrule Warriors would have been a solid B, maybe even an A, but I'm probably more of a B. But the fact that the frame rate and the graphics constantly underperformed and dipped and annoyed you and resulted in death after death and then having to replay stages.
Sounds like a skill issue.
I gotta give it a C. All right. Now, there was a sequel, and the sequel was called Age of Calamity,
which he did not play.
And I was actually interested in playing it because this one was on the Switch, and I'm like, dude, if it's on the Switch, they probably solved all those problems from the Wii U. I get the demo, I play it, dude, it was worse.
Phil, that's a demo. what you see in the demo is not going to be in the final product. And I have played Age of Calamity, both in handheld mode and in docked. There are no problems with it, like he claims that there is.
The frame rate was atrociously bad. It was over the top laggy as shit. I couldn't believe how bad the demo played. And from what I'm to understand, a lot of people thought, oh, that's just the demo. People bought the final version, and it was just as bad.
No, it's not, Phil. You want to know another thing about the final version that the demo didn't have? Updates.
The whole game was choppy and laggy. So I'm glad I didn't buy it. It's very sad that that happened. It would have been nice if they did better for the sequel. People in the chat are telling me that Definitive Edition that's listed here that I never played, I guess it's called Hyrule Warriors.
Because you skipped it because you thought it was a waste of time because it's the same game.
Definitive Edition. That one came out for the Switch, and apparently that one ran...
That's debatable, though. That is heavily debatable, Spam. That is heavily debatable. It really depends on what style of game it is. If we're talking about like an action game, 60 frames is where it's at. If we're talking about anything else, 30 frames is usually acceptable. But we live in an era where people want 60 frames. It has to be 60 frames or the game is terrible. Even though there are plenty of good games out there that have 30 frames per second, but it does not deter a person's perspective. Some people might like it at 30 frames, some people might not. They want 60. But if you're also a PC person, you would up the ante, go past 60. Which, again, all a matter of preference. Whatever you like. You like 60? Like 60. Like 30? Like 30. Power choice, my friend. Power choice.
Beautifully smooth 60 frames. So what I don't get about that then is, let's think about this, right? So you're telling me that the original game on the Wii U was choppy. So then
tell that to most indie devs that can't go 60. Tell that to some studios that have to be stuck. Granted, there are games that should run 60, but they run at 30. Remember Redfall?
They released a definitive edition on the Switch that ran at 60 frames.
And that's a good thing. Like, everyone has that power of choice. And it's all depends on the game, though. If a game is great, frame rate shouldn't really be a issue. It shouldn't be like a standard. Like some people claim that it should be. There are a lot of games that I enjoy that aren't 60 frames, but they're really good and enjoyable. But it all depends on perspective.
But then they made a sequel, and the sequel was choppy.
Even though you never played it, and even though you never gave it an experience, and you never seen any proof of it.
They didn't learn from the first failure?
How is this a failure? Hyrule Warriors sold pretty well. They made 2 ports of it. One being better for the Switch, and one being a handheld, which granted, not my cup of tea. But how is it a failure? He wants to look at something and be like, it's a failure. Nintendo didn't learn. Companies didn't learn. X didn't learn. Y learned better, even though it's all a matter of perspective.
They had to remake it to be run better, and then they made it.
They didn't remake it. They ported it. That's a difference.
A sequel that was bad again. I just don't get it.
Then again, he's complained the same thing about Jedi Survivor.
I don't get it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to rank the final Zelda game on our tier maker, and then we're going to do an ultimate rundown and see if we want to change any of these rankings, okay? So, Majora's Mask 3D.
Not the best version of Majora's Mask, in my opinion. Yeah, I remember that cool limp. Yep. And it also has a 70 million player base, and he still calls it a failure, even though the game is free to play. But back to Zelda. Majora's Mask 3D is not the best one. I would put that as either A or B, and the original Majora's Mask as its S tier.
All right. This game is so weird because this game has so many odd things to it. Okay? Okay, first of all, let's be honest here, right? It's a weird Zelda game. Is it even real? Does it actually have...
All games in the Zelda franchise have weird quirks to it. any game could have a weird quirk. Majora's Mask was weird, in quotes. Oh yeah, take care, Odd. Have a good night. Or morning, whichever. I say good night. But continuing on with Majora's Mask, the only reason why Majora's Mask was quote-unquote weird was due to the fact that it was a bright and colorful world, but had a lot of overtones that were dark. It had the allegory of death, but it was also the paranoia of death. Impending doom, the moon coming down to crash on this little countryside, little world. It was going to destroy everything. Apocalypse, even. And what made that game good was the side stories. Seeing all these people struggling to try to survive, find ways to be like, I'm going to fight the moon with the swordsman. But when you go and find the swordsman, he's afraid to die. That he doesn't want to die. The bride couple that I mentioned earlier, they didn't want to die either. They didn't want to die alone. Like I said, sad moment. But bittersweet. And it was a good change of pace. Granted, a lot of people didn't care for the time mechanic, like I did back in the day. But as I got older, I've grown to appreciate it. It's a big drastic... Yeah, exactly. It was a big drastic change that the series needed. Plus, it still maintained certain aspects. Granted, they reused some parts from Majora's Mask, or Ocarina of Time, in Majora's Mask. But the game is still solid to this day. What Majora's Mask 3D did, they changed certain elements of the game, and it became inferior. I don't care for Majora's Mask 3D. I prefer the original.
Happen? Or, you know, is it a dream, a fever dream
Yeah, that's also true, because of the disk drive.
after Ocarina? I don't even know yet. I played it and I don't even know. Right?
Wait, what was that?
Weird Zelda game. Is it even real? Does it actually happen? Or, you know, is it a dream, a fever dream after Ocarina? I don't even know yet. I played it and I don't even know.
Yeah. Takes place after the events of Ocarina of Time. Link is going back to find Navi, because Navi left him in Ocarina of Time at the end, because he's searching for a long-lost friend, gets jumped by a Skull Kid wearing Majora's Mask and two fairies. So is it all a fever dream? Who knows? Who's to really say? Some people speculate yes. Some people speculate no. Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, good games. Hold them credit for their history. Hold them credit to their standard, what they did to revolutionize the series. But he won't. Yeah, do we really exist in a fever dream, or are we all just a simulation? That's one of the ultimate questions that people ask. This has gone philosophical. I'm sorry, I gotta get back.
Right? The fact that the world's going to end in a certain amount of time and you only have a couple days or whatever to do what you want to do, and then the whole thing has to reset because the world ends. It's such a weird plot, right? It's unique, but it's dark. A lot of the people in the game are like, oh well, everything's going to end, big deal. And others are like freaking out.
No, actually, at the beginning with the whole thing, they're celebrating a festival. It's all hunky-fucky-dory in the beginning. Day 1. Day 2, they're noticing the moon's coming down. Then they start freaking out a little bit, trying to figure out what to do. Day 3, or as I like to call it, impending doomsday. People don't know what's going to happen. People are paranoid. People want to die. It's not only a gameplay gimmick, but it's a mechanic that tells a good story along the way. With its like the main story, sure, it is the main focus, but the bigger focus comes around the people, comes around the side content, getting every other mask, the lore of Termina. That is why Majora's Mask is considered really good, because of the side content. But he doesn't get it at all. It's one of those things like if he was told Shakespeare, if he was quoted Hamlet or Romeo and Juliet, he would not get it. He'll claim he understands it, but he doesn't.
It's so odd how everyone is reacting differently to the end of the world, but it's weird playing a game that's...
Thanks very much, Brown. So I take it you don't subscribe to the theory that Majora's Mask is about Link accepting his death. That's the thing, though. It's just a theory. Like, I'm not going to say it's a bad theory. No, not at all. It's a good theory. But a lot of things can counteract that theory. The hero shade from Twilight Princess. That's why. It's like Castlevania 2, but improved drastically. Pretty much. It's
supposed to be like a cutesy Nintendo game talking about the end of the world.
It wasn't really a cutesy Nintendo game, Phil. Sure, it looked bright and colorful, but it was dark. It's like I mentioned before, Mother 3 is a great example of a game that looks quirky, looks bright and colorful, looks charming, but has a dark story with dark tones. And for those that don't care about spoilers about Mother 3, I'll allow to elaborate. In the beginning of Mother 3, you see Lucas and Klaus, the two brothers. They're out in the mountainside playing at their grandfather's house with their mom. They're coming home at night. They don't show up. People invade, and Pig Mask invade the forest, causing havoc. And you're thinking, this is interesting. What's going on with this? Later on, you find out that these Pig Masks are taking the creatures and essentially creating experiments, chimeras. So it gets dark quickly. Because they're fucking with the environment. Later on, you find out that wife and kids didn't come home because you play as the husband. And you go out to find them. You find the two sons. But you find out your wife is fucking dead. And the way that they describe it. They describe it as, hey, I found this fang that could be used as a weapon. But it was stuck in your wife's chest. Dark. Emotional. That's what Majora's Mask is. It gives you moments like this, but done in a subtle way. And again, Phil will never understand it.
You know what I'm saying? The fact that it has classic Zelda gameplay, but then it's changed because you put on the masks and it changes how you play. Like, you know what I mean? You put on the Octorok mask, and all of a sudden you're shooting the Deku.
They're just called the Octorok mask. They're called Dekus, Phil. How did he confuse Octoroks with Dekus?
You know what I mean? You put on the Octorok mask, and all of a sudden you're shooting the Deku nuts and stuff like that. That's very unique and interesting, but it's
also big ups to Mike D.
Also confusing
for becoming a member. Big ups. You won't regret this decision.
Like, as you play through this game, you essentially are like...
Yeah, when you die in Legend of Zelda, you become a Stalfos. The hero shade is called the Spirit of the Hero of Time. Yeah, exactly. Link is the hero of time. Yeah. Pretty much. That's why I'm saying the whole thing with it.
Like, you don't even know, like, what should you be doing? Like, what masks are the important ones? What ones aren't?
The important ones are usually the ones that allow you to transform. The Deku, the Goron, and the Zora. But you collect all the other masks along the way. And if you collect all 20, excluding the main masks, then you get the Fierce Deity's mask, which is the powerful one.
Where should you be using each mask? What's the timing of each puzzle? Because all these puzzles have unique different times. You have to be in certain places. And then there's hidden content that you can easily skip, but you don't have to do it to beat the game.
Yes, you do. If you want the Fierce Deity's mask, you have to find all the masks, and you have to do all the side content. If you want the best sword, you have to do that. You have to go there day one, get your new sword. Upgrade it to the Razor's Edge. And then it's upgraded to the ultimate sword that you keep all throughout the game. Because you need gold dust after the fucking Goron race.
But then it adds on to the game if you do it, right? Like it's of all the games in this list.
Of all the games.
There's two that really stand out for different kind of tone. One is Majora's Mask and one is Twilight Princess.
No. Here's why I'm saying no. Majora's Mask was dark with its overtones. Twilight Princess was dark in its own setting, the way that the game's artistic style was. They made it dark on purpose. But when it came to its story, wasn't necessarily dark at all. Granted, it had dark lightings and dark effects, but it wasn't overall dark. I don't understand how he could thinks that a dark story and a dark setting are the same fucking thing.
Right? All the other ones you can argue, okay, maybe there's bad stuff going on, but it's kind of upbeat, it's colorful. These two games are like...
How can you do the same thing? There's still an impending threat that you have to go up against in all the Zelda games. Hell, for fuck's sake, Wind Waker, your sister gets kidnapped and you gotta go fucking save her. Couldn't do it because, hey, you're not strong enough. Now you can go save your sister. Oh, right. There's something deeper and darker than that.
Like, almost depressing when you think about it, right? And...
well, Majora's Mask is considered depressing. Sure.
The other thing is the weird story of the Skull Kid. And, like, who the hell is the Skull Kid? You know? And how is he screwing everything up with the masks and everything? It's just so weird.
Okay, so for context with the Skull Kid was lonely. He did not have any friends. He befriended two fairies known as Tattle and Tail. And they became the best of friends. And they got into mischief together. So they ended up robbing the Happy Mask salesman, took Majora's Mask, and he puts the mask on. Later forming into Majora's Dark Thoughts, becoming it basically embodied. So Skull Kid has the power of Majora. That's why the Skull Kid has a relevance to it, because he kind of fucked up and put the mask on. There's a fan animation that someone did with the Skull Kid, and it's so fucking well done. It's like, it kind of like adds more context to how the Skull Kid became Majora, essentially.
That they did this with the plot. I'll be honest, there's parts of it I really like, and there's parts...
yeah, he wants it told to him, and he doesn't like it shown to him. Take, for example, Final Fantasy 16 with the Peloton scene. Why couldn't they just tell me? Phil, it's better to show and not tell. That is key to storytelling. If you tell someone something, it's boring. It has no impact. It has no drive. If you show it, even if you're reading a book, it shows you it. It gives you an imaginative thought about it, like what's going on. Showing, not telling.
Parts of it I hate, for example, with the...
no, he does not pay attention to the story at all. Yep, pretty much.
whole time limit thing. To have to rush, you have to feel like you're being rushed through dungeons. Because if you don't complete the dungeon by the end of the cycle, if you remember, it resets.
Yeah, it does reset every single time, and all that progress is gone. Unless you beat the dungeons, you collect the remains, and you get all the necessary stuff that you need, and you deposit your money. That way you can keep it.
And you have to do the whole fucking dungeon over? That's bullshit.
How's that bullshit, Phil? That's the game's mechanic with time travel. Plus, keep in mind, Phil, that every single time that you go through the dungeon, if you go through the dungeon and you complete it on the third day, the bosses become aggressively harder. And that's the thing that makes it interesting. You have to be quick. You have to know what you're doing. Does he? Nah. He loves taking his time. He loves to go through everything pretending that he cares. But, he just doesn't understand good storytelling.
Like, why not let you say? Why not be immune to the time thing in the dungeon? At least
you can't, Phil. That would defeat the fucking purpose. Oh, why can't time travel not work in the dungeons? That would be broken. That would break the game.
just let you play through the fucking dungeon. Don't tell me because I didn't finish the dungeon on my first try in the dungeon. Right? It's the first time even doing the dungeon.
What's up, Dwight? Also, Phil. If you don't know what you're doing, you can always reset the goddamn story. You can always reset the time.
So I don't even know that much about it. I'm trying to discover, you know, a lot of part of Zelda is kind of taking your time exploring and you know, finding optional things and finding ways to solve the dungeons. And then the game is like, nah, you can't do that.
Now, keep in mind, what he just said right there of taking your time with it, notice how he doesn't do that with Tears of the Kingdom, that he's not taking his time, and he's not searching for secrets to find the light blessings to increase his health, finding ways to increase his defense, his offense. He's not doing any of that. Instead, he's rushing through the game as quickly as possible so he can move on to the next one and then put it on his best and worst games list. That's what he's going to do. Also, yeah, I forgot about I forgot what it's called. I think it's called like the Song of Slow Time or Song of Inverted Time. That's what it was called, where it slows it down. That was exactly it. I don't think he knew anything about it.
You can't do that because you have to do it in a time period, a time frame. Or else you got to start over from the beginning. Now, fair enough. Someone just said there's songs you can play that slows down time. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
But I didn't know jack shit about it until you told me.
But at the same time, it's still the frustration factor of having to go through that. You understand what I'm saying?
Ben, did you know?
Name another RPG where you can't take your time to explore and enjoy a dungeon because there's always a big looming time limit over your head.
Phil, I'm going to tell you this right now. Zelda is not an RPG. It's an adventure game. Also, an RPG that does that, Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy 13 had that. It had that Majora's Mask feel, but done poorly, in my opinion.
I don't like that. I actually feel like that was maybe a misstep, right?
How is that a misstep, Phil? People regard Majora's Mask as their favorite Zelda game of all time. Same thing can be regarded as one of the best Nintendo 64 games. Alongside Ocarina of Time, Mario 64, and Banjo-Kazooie. Maybe Paper Mario 1. Or Perfect Dark. Or Jet Force Gemini. It is very possible. He always does this. And he's trying to make himself sound intelligent with this, Goric. But it doesn't work out in his favor.
The series, and I don't think that they did a very good job with that.
They did an amazing job with Majora's Mask. But it was one of those games that a lot of people were mixed on due to the fact it had the time mechanic. Some people didn't mind it. Some people did not like it. But, again, all in the matter of perspective.
But I definitely liked the uniqueness of the fact that the plot was very different from other Zelda games.
I liked the game, but this was a misstep for Nintendo.
And the masks, you know, the uniqueness of, you put a mask on, and now you completely play differently, right? That's kind of neat.
It is neat, Phil, and it's actually useful for some of the dungeons. But you don't like it.
It's unique, but I feel like it's a mix.
Also, that's the thing with that, though, Sid. He thinks that he's trying to solve problems for, like, any game company that has, like, problems. But all that he's doing is offering no solutions while adding on more problems.
Mixed bag. Like, I feel like some of the stuff is very, very fun because it's unique and different.
But it was a misstep.
And then other stuff is very frustrating. And it's kind of a mix. Like, when you're liking the game, you really like it. But then when the frustration kicks in, it's like, fuck. You know, I don't like it. So it's kind of this mix.
It has a mix on it, sure. Another game that had a mix was Donkey Kong 64. Some people love it and some people don't. But it's a heavy mixed bag.
I would say, like, here's ultimately what I would say. It's a great game. I really do feel it's a great game. But if I'm looking at these games, like, definitely I feel Ocarina is better. If you're looking at the three...
Yeah. The original.
Zeldas, I do feel Ocarina is better than Majora's Mask, okay? Is Majora's Mask as good as Breath of the Wild, Wind Waker, and the original Legend of Zelda?
Yes. It is. The original one, not the 3D one. But yes.
Well, think of it this way.
Oh, God. Just put it on the fucking list.
Is Majora's Mask better than A Link Between...
Yeah, he calls it Ocarina. He calls it Ocarina, not Ocarina. And Steve already put it on there. Let's see. Yes, he did, Vanguard. He took forever to beat Oblivion. And that's a stupid thing. That is a very stupid thing. He does the same thing to everything. He takes forever to play games. And hold on. And this is the thing that Asmongold brings up, though. And yeah, I'm going back to quote unquote dick riding Asmongold. But this was a point that he made. Is that he could have finished most of these games a while ago, but yet he was still focused on bitching, whining, complaining, and focusing on other content that's not really important. Also, jalapenos.
Worlds, Twilight Princess, and Link's Awakening on the Switch.
It's better than every game that's on his tier list. Better. They're all fucking better. Let me rephrase that. Majora's Mask is better than all of those. Yo, what is he doing today? I believe he's playing Street Fighter, which I might cover later today. I might make a video for it tomorrow.
Tough quick. Oh my god.
What the fuck, man?
What the hell? Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas, one and all.
I forgot. He did this to, like, do something.
I didn't mean to click on that. I meant to...
Yeah, you did. Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
Click on this. I'm going to say... Christmas in May seems early. All right, anyway.
You can suck a fat dick.
Bye.
See, I can sing along, too, and I can actually hold a pitch. And a tune.
You're like, what the hell? Little misclick there. Anyway.
Misclick these nuts.
This is a tough question.
It's Marv from Home Alone.
Right? I actually don't know where to...
No, I'm quoting the second one. It's like, Merry Christmas, you filthy animal, and a Happy New Year.
Rank this one. Out of all the games that we have definitively ranked in Zelda, I'm actually having a hard time. Should this be A?
That should be in B tier. The original should be in S.
Should this be B?
You know, Marv, we call ourselves Marv. You know how we call ourselves the Wet Bandits? We need a new thing. We're the Sticky Bandits. Very funny, Marv.
B.
Oh, it was Joe. Harry. That's who it was. Joe Pesci was Harry. Marv was the tall one. Daniel Stern.
Because, man, that time thing pisses me off. It really does. It pisses me off.
We get it, Phil. Majora's Mask is not for you. Put it on the tier list. Shut up.
Well...
But that's the thing, though, Vanguard. Most of that's patch. It's mostly patchy. Phil has a hard time with every Zelda game period. Yep, pretty much.
I think we'll put it in A, but now what we need to do, because we have about, a little bit of time left here. Even though I could easily end the tier maker here. Oh no, I go above and beyond.
Yeah, look at this shit. Look at all this shit. 23 games he has not played. And yet he's played 15 of them. Big Zelda fan, everybody. He has the pants. He has the Zelda Breath of the Wild pants. He definitely knows what he's talking about, right, guys?
What we're going to do now...
Tip me money, because I'm right.
We're going to go through each one of these and make sure that I feel like I've ranked these properly. Okay? Because I almost feel like some of these absolutely, but others maybe we need to shift around. Okay? So let's...
I'm unfamiliar with the guy, but from what I've heard, my guess is either he's putting on a show, he's generally a mess. Here's the thing with this, Gorek. There are plenty of times where he tries to put on a show to get clipped, and then he'll go on his stream, complain that he got clipped, play the victim, and ask for sympathy bucks. He does that a lot. Also, with him being a journal mess, he is. He is essentially a has-been popular machinima content creator that's trying to stay into relevancy while thinking he's untouchable, living a life of complacency. That's how he is. He's always smug. He's always, fuck the detractors. Fuck everybody that has a different opinion about me. This is my pig echo chamber. Obey what I have to say. My word is gospel, and if you don't like it, I'm gonna fucking ban you. You spam cherry emotes, which I give y'all permission to do the cherry emote, I'll ban you. He bans anybody for emotes. He defends a fucking pet, like a pedophile. He defends a creeper in his chat when people have come to him multiple times telling him that no one likes him here. He spams the chat and he's generally making people uncomfortable. And he tells... Oh, shit. Hang on. Okay. Stream went down just a tiny bit, but it's all good. I think it was just my OBS acting up. But yeah, the whole point remains, though, is that he cannot monetize as well. He went after somebody named Evil AJ. He's the guy that created This I Don't Place. He is the forefather, the OG detractor that started the whole thing. He essentially tried to go after his video, but he never gave him permission, privated it. He's like, oh, so him doing that means that he's stealing my content. Got him. And he has this big stick up his ass that us detractors are ruining his life, when the only person that's ruining his life is Philip himself, essentially. He is the Messiah that plays victim.
Let's take a quick look. And by the way, again, I want to say thank you to the live audience. You've been great. You've been interactive. The attendance has been good.
Your attendance has been good, and I get to... Oh, yeah, and he gets to blow bubbles at his fucking chat. And he's like, oh, my fans aren't children. My audience aren't filled with children. Blows bubbles into the fucking camera every time he hits 100 likes. Like they're children. It's the same quality of dangling keys over the fucking camera. Like, over the camera. It's like, ooh, I got the keys. Oh, is this funny, guys?
You know, the support, super chats have been great. So thank you for that. Like I would say, for those watching on demand, please, if you like this event, if you could support it on demand after the fact with like super thanks or a tip, that would be great.
Also, another thing that he does, he begs for money every day. Even if he hits this, because you see on the bottom right, he has tips goal. Once he hits 50, he wears gunner glasses. Once he hits 100, he puts on a stupid hat. And then once he hits tier 3, he puts on a vest. But originally, he would do $150 like a chair spin. And he blames that his wife said it was a good idea. Also, yeah, Gorak, that's Ghost Hunter said it best. Side Scrollers did an interview with him. It's about 5.5 hours long, give or take. Watch how that guy crumbles because he wanted to clear the air. That is a good way to look into Phil. Another good way is to look at Secret Limited's videos, the top 10 worst moments of Phil, all the time. Just an idea. Just a word of thought.
It looks like it's been a slow night here outside of super chats. I was hoping to maybe get some memberships or you know, but it is what it is. I'm still enjoying myself. I'm having a great time, and I hope that everyone is enjoying the tier maker, okay?
No, not everybody's enjoying the tier maker. They're wondering what the fuck's wrong with you.
Derek, you have a great night. See you later. Okay.
And also Darish. Or Derek.
Oh.
Y'all being toxic in here without a permit? I'm gonna put you in jail.
So first of all, let's go through it. Okay, top tier. Ocarina of Time, and I'm saying Ocarina of Time 3D, because that's the one that I played fully and enjoyed as an adult.
Oh yeah, cool. I covered that in my video. It was exactly what he wanted. But as soon as he didn't get the softball interview like he got with the quartering, he immediately said they were being dicks. That they're trying to market off of him. Because monetize the haters. That bullshit. So, how is it that he knew that this money well that Craig had dried up if he doesn't watch his content? Makes you think, doesn't it?
And A Link to the Past. Okay.
Link to the Past, S tier, that's fine. Ocarina of Time 3D, A.
Okay. I feel like those are absolutely like the best Zelda
Agree, Coolip.
games. And you can disagree, and that's okay if you do. But
No, it's not. It's not okay. If you have any disagreements with him, he will not take it lightly. He will actually get butthurt.
to me, those are the two that stand out. You got best in class 2D and best in class 3D.
No, not at all.
And in some ways, they
Well, Link to the Past, sure. Ocarina of Time 3D, no.
were kind of originators. They were innovators, right? The things from those games still stand out to this day. You know what I mean? So, absolutely, I feel that those two are the best.
Yeah, he'll call you an idiot. He'll call you a mouth driller, and he'll think that you need help. And he also made this whole thing about detractors will go to anybody talking negatively about him and throw money. And I've said this before. It's like, I do not make it an obligation or say it's mandatory for you to give me money. I'm not going to have a sign that says, give me $5 to watch my content. No, if you like my content and you give money, you're more than likely to do so. You're more than welcome to do so. Phil, on the other hand, will tell you multiple times that he needs the tips, that they're essentially mandatory. And to quote him, that's not begging. That's business.
You could disagree, that's all right. But I think those two are.
Oh, no, and Distractor Dude, there are times where I jokingly say and try to copy his grift as a joke. And then some people actually do give money, and I'm like, dude, I was joking. Like, I appreciate the thought of it, but it was all a joke.
Are the absolute best games, all right? And that's not going to change. I really feel like those are going to be the best, okay? Now, Game Watch and Link's crossbow training, I don't think that anyone's going to argue that the Legend of Zelda Game Watch.
But then again, it's a fucking Tiger Electronics with a watch. I wouldn't even put that on here as a game. I would just put that as an accessory.
The LCD piece of shit, and the stupid crossbow minigame training that was part of like a package in with the Wii Wotes. I don't think
The fucking zapper.
anyone's going to disagree that those are shit. Those are shit tier.
No, I would say that Link's crossbow training would be a C tier for me. Skyward Sword is a D. That's just my opinion.
Right? Those are like Goron Duty tier, right? Those are like, you know, Octorok Balls tier. They're terrible. They shouldn't exist. Good night, Willow. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Now, here's what we need to do. Tackle the middle three. The A, the B, and the C. All right?
Breath of the Wild for me is a B tier. Ocarina of Time HD. Oh, not Ocarina of Time. Wind Waker HD is an S. The original is also an S. Legend of Zelda for me is a B. Majora's Mask, B. Link's Awakening for the Switch is an A. Twilight Princess HD is an A. Link Between Worlds is an A.
All right. First,
Skyward Sword is a D, like I said. Ocarina of Time is an S. Adventure Link is a C. Probably a D. And Hyrule Warriors is a C. Oh yeah, Wind Waker was awesome. I know for a fact the only thing that people did not like in the beginning was its art style. They thought the cell shading looked weird. But as soon as people played the game, it became a classic.
first thing we should say, all right? If we take a look at A, which is Breath of the Wild,
Which I don't believe it's an A.
Wind Waker,
That's a C. Not a C. That's an S. I don't know why I said C. C, it's an S.
Legend of Zelda 1,
B.
and Majora's Mask,
B or C.
okay? If I'm thinking of all those games, like out of all of those, which one do I like the most?
You said you like Wind Waker, but we all know you didn't.
I mean, honestly, Legend of Zelda 1 is probably an A tier simply because it's the original Zelda game. It is very
Mods, please ban. I saw Yamamoto in the chat. He's talking shit.
outdated now. It has some really annoying parts, but being that it's the
Girl, let me pull down your pants. I'll tell you why you're the Wind Waker.
one that started it all and created so many original
tired,
things
man.
in gaming, including soundtrack that's been used ever since then. And you know what I mean? Like top-down RPG gaming and stuff like that.
You know what? I'll do this, Rockman. If I had a tier list of this, I would put Groundbreaking. That is above S, and that's always going to be a good thing. Groundbreaking, Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time, Link to the Past, and that's it.
So I feel like it's an A because of nostalgia. You know what I mean? Like,
But you don't have any nostalgia for Majora's Mask.
if it wasn't the one that started it all, then maybe it wouldn't be an A. But I feel like
Or fucking Zelda, the original.
that's why it's there, and it kind of should deserve that spot. I think the other three, if you'd like in terms of enjoyability, gameplay, they're all kind of equal in my opinion. Like,
No, they're never going to be equal to you.
I think I liked Breath of the Wild as much as I liked Wind Waker, as much as I liked Majora's Mask. I think they're all really good games. So I don't think necessarily I would say, oh, this one's definitively better than the other. I think they're kind of equivalent. If anything, if there was one I would demote, it would be Legend of Zelda 1. But I guess let's take a look at our B tier. A Link Between Worlds.
That's an A tier.
The Twilight Princess, of course, this is the HD version.
Actually, all those games that are in his B tier should be A.
And Link's Awakening, the Nintendo Switch version. Well, there's absolutely no way you could say that Link's Awakening is as good as Link to the Past.
I'm not saying that it's good as Link to the Past, but it's a lot fucking better than Majora's Mask 3D.
Much shorter game. It's a lot more basic.
Just because a game is shorter doesn't mean that the game is bad. Like, there are some games out there that can last you about 10 hours, but if you have fun with it along the way and it's enjoyable, that's all that should matter.
It's still great. It's still fun. All right.
But it's still a B tier.
Twilight Princess. It's a good game, but is it as good as Breath of the Wild or Majora's Mask or Wind Waker? Honestly, for me, I'm going to say no. Now, you could disagree. I think this is really where we're going to come into things where they're going to be contentious, right?
Yeah, guys, Shin, he does. He hates long games. That's why he's trying to rush fucking Tears of the Kingdom as fast as he can. And I don't know if he's ever going to go back to Final Fantasy 16. I really don't think he is.
If you personally really loved Twilight Princess, then probably you're going to say that that should be way higher up. But the thing is, like, out of all the games that we just went through the list, all right? Like I said, what do I think about when I think Breath of the Wild? I think, wow, I remember when I looked at the open world for the first time and I saw all these things moving in the background and things in the sky. I was like, wow, this is amazing. Look at the breadth of this world, and I'm going to traverse all of it, right?
You did not want to traverse all of it. And this is when you're saying, I'm an interactive streamer, guys. Wait, lightning killed me, what?
Right? When I think of Wind Waker, I remember, you know, going on the ocean and the music, do-do-do-do-do, and you're sailing through the ocean.
You're not even in tune with that, Phil. If I wanted to hear a good rendition of that, I would just go listen to Smooth the Groove.
Dun 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 dun. Off in the distance, you see these big tornadoes and these things appearing. It's a really neat game in that respect. Okay.
So every time he starts trying to sing, I'm just gonna.
Majora's Mask.
Yeah, he forgot everything about Breath of the Wild. It was that good. He did.
You remember that hideous devil moon coming to kill you. You remember
not kill you, wipe out the entirety of Termina.
On the mask and transform it. Those games have things that stand out so much.
Well, no shit Termina did. No shit the moon did. If it didn't stand out, it wouldn't be a fucking stage in fucking Smash Brothers.
I think Twilight Princess, the only thing I really remember is the light and dark aspect turning you back and forth from being a wolf. I actually don't even remember much at all about the game.
That's the sad thing about it, though. He doesn't remember anything about it. Doesn't remember Ganondorf being in there. Doesn't remember Zant. Doesn't remember Zelda. Doesn't remember Midna. You know, short stack fat ass. Doesn't remember that.
That's not good. Now, maybe that's...
No, that's not good on your part because you have a bad memory, you dementia fuck.
It's my problem. Maybe that year, because that year a lot of bad stuff happened, 2016. A lot of stuff happened in my life.
I was caught masturbating in front of children. That was my depression.
Bad that year for sure. Maybe that's why I don't remember it that much. But for me, like,
Oh yeah, Gorak, if you're still here, I hope to God you're still here. He was caught jerking off on May 1st, 2016. And remember, when you have the urge to let one out, may the burst be with you, and make sure the camera is off.
All the other Zeldas stand out more than that one in my mind.
No, Rockman. I actually do like Midna as a character. Midna is a great character. Honestly, I believe she's one of the better new characters to come out. I'm sorry, she is.
So that's why I feel like it has to be below them. It has to be like a tier.
And don't fucking tell me that he's not. Don't tell me that Midna is not a short stack.
Tier below the other three.
Yes, for real. Keemstar covered it. And he calls it the incident. He doesn't call it by what it is. He calls it the incident. Early, like I was going to say last month. I thought it was still June. 2 months ago, he got into like a major banning spree on his channel due to the fact that May 1st was around and people were joking around. He's like, I'm just going to ban you.
All right. Only Between Worlds, like I said, I really liked, but I never beat it. And I think it had issues. I definitely thought that there were parts that were kind of annoying. If anything, maybe I would downgrade Link Between Worlds to a C.
Nope, you fucking heathen.
Okay. And maybe if I were doing that, maybe I would upgrade the original Ocarina of Time to B.
Nope, put that up to S.
Again, I didn't like the original Ocarina of Time on the Nintendo 64. So I'm not going to be putting it at A and S. But out of respect of how many people love that original version of the game, maybe I push that up one.
No, out of respect, you put it as an S tier. Give it its history and give it its credit.
As a trade with Link Between Worlds, right? Push that down one, right? Tell you what I'm thinking. All right? And the other thing that gets me here, that's annoying to me.
Which Zelda is waifu material? Honestly, yes. I will not deny that. Skyward Sword's Zelda is waifu material because I love her personality in that game. But if we're gonna go by body appearance, give me Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom any day.
Is that they didn't...
Oh, sorry. Yeah, hold on. What did G-Dog, what did you say? Not only did you jerk, I was saying they're cleaned up. Yeah. Yeah. I forgot he did that. No napkins, no paper towels, no nothing. Oh, gee. Straight to the pants. And the PS4 overlay. The fucking PS4 overlay music will never sound the same.
Have Skyward Sword HD, because if this was Skyward Sword HD, all right, I actually feel like this would go up. Like this.
No, honestly, no. Here's how I would do it. The original, D. HD, probably a C. Probably.
This would at very least be a B. It might even go to A tier.
No, it would not.
Because Skyward Sword HD takes out the motion controls and makes the game so much more responsive and fun and better. And it's kind of annoying that...
Into the void, dub. Into the void. The Hypno Girl from Link's Awakening is the only wife. But that depends. It depends.
They don't have that one. But I don't think there's really a perfect tier maker for any of these. You know what I mean?
Then again, every tier maker is subjective, but I'm not gonna lie, your opinion on this is wrong. Absolutely wrong.
The other thing is, it does suck that I didn't play so many of these. I mean, a lot of these are different alternate versions, or the handheld ones, you know?
The handheld ones are good on their merits as well. They deserve their credit as well. Link's Awakening for being the actual first Zelda game to be on a handheld console, so that should have its due. Especially with Deluxe. Oracle of Seasons, not so much. But if we're going to talk about like Game Boy Advance, I would give Minish Cap its due. Same thing with DS. Give Phantom Hourglass its due. Like, it has many good elements on it. Even Cadence of Hyrule, going into an indie game, being a spin-off of Crypto the Necrodancer.
So,
and also Hyrule Warriors for going off into the Muso territory, not Musu.
I think, yeah, I've heard Oracle of Seasons and Ages are real good. I've heard Spirit Tracks, Phantom Hourglass are real good.
You heard, but you never will play them.
It's a shame. Maybe one day they'll make a collection of those, right? It would be.
They won't, though. That's the thing. They won't, because if they do it with Oracle of Seasons and Ages, they would need like Capcom's help with it.
It'd be nice if they would make like a collection of those that would port it to like the Switch or the next Nintendo console, where you could sit down, maybe pay like $100. But you get like 4 or 5 of the handheld Zeldas now made into like games you could play on your console.
No, it would not be $100. It would probably be $60, like always.
I think I would love that. I'm actually kind of sad that
Shut up, Fluffy.
it feels like there's a lot of
Martin. Orderly.
games that are kind of being missed out on because there's just no way.
No, trust me, Gorak. Here's the thing with Phil when it comes to sympathy. He does not want your sympathy. He does not want your help when it comes to anything. When he was struck down with copyright strikes, people in the detractor community, as much as we hate him for what he did to us by false flagging our stuff, we tried to help him with his copyright shit, and he completely ignored us. And then as soon as he got those copyright strikes removed, he immediately went on the spree about saying, fuck all the detractors for trying to ruin my life, and he tried doing a victory lap, but he tripped and fell.
Way to actively play those in the modern era, right? What am I going to do? Go find a Game Boy Advance to play these games on? And then
Or you could emulate them.
never really ported them to anything, right?
Well, then again, they're starting to do that with the Switch now, with the Game Boy. What was it? The Game Boy Online, Nintendo Switch Online Game Boy. So they're going to probably put those on there, I believe.
So,
they're already going to do that with the Game Boy Advance version with Minish Cap.
August says, didn't you quit Skyward Sword HD because you were bored? No.
Yes, he did. Don't let him bullshit anybody.
I wasn't bored at all. I was having a blast with it. I kept telling you guys I loved how much better it was with the controls.
If you loved it so much, why'd you drop it?
It was the audience that didn't like it.
Uh-huh. And that's another thing, Gorak. Anytime that I'm giving you like a history lesson, any single time that he says that the audience didn't like a game, he's trying to bullshit everybody by saying that they didn't like it, but in reality, he didn't like it. He was bored with it and he dropped it. He wage quits it. That's another thing. That's a term specifically made for him. Wage quit. If he doesn't make a certain amount of money, he drops it like a rock.
The audience was legit bored at Zelda Skyward Sword HD.
He also believes that people don't like Metroidvanias, but people want him to play Metroidvanias. He hates them.
I bought the whole game. I played it for like 12 hours, and I quit it because people told me to stop playing it. And it sucks because I really enjoyed it. I was having a great time with it. And, you know, I quit it because people said they didn't like it, you know.
I quit it because I couldn't get any money out of it, so I couldn't go take my wife out to get her DoorDash order of sushi.
So, yeah,
and then she came home smelling like Hennessy, and I wondered what she was doing.
I really was enjoying it. I probably would have loved playing the entire game from start to finish, you know.
Also, it doesn't really care for indie games all that much. Unless they're on Game Pass.
Anyway, all right. So let's do our final rankings then, shall we? Let's go through them. All these ones at the bottom that I didn't play, I'm sure a lot of these are marvelous games. Sorry that I didn't play them and I couldn't rank them.
No. So, I'll stop it right here. So, this was his tier list for Zelda. A guy that claims that he is a Nintendo fan. He is a Zelda fan. But yet, does not play all the Zelda games or give them a fair shot. That is Phil for you. That is what he does. He'll lie to everybody to make himself look like he is either a nice guy or he's knowledgeable about everything. But when you ask him about it, he doesn't remember. And yeah, it's just a big clusterfuck, honestly.
In the D tier, we've got the Legend of Zelda Game
But today, Junior,
Watch and Link's Crossbow Train with frame rate and performance game. Very, very. The fad started with Minecraft, although admittedly
Wait,
on the original. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless they go like Link to the Past being kind of a direct sequel to the original Legend of Zelda,
it was a prequel
and improving literally every aspect of it. That's why I feel like it's better and it's S tier. But already, from what we've seen for Tears of the Kingdom, which is coming out this Friday, when it's not out yet when I'm making this video, to me, here's my issue with the game.
All right, here's his main issue with Tears of the Kingdom, and then he started playing it.
All right? It's like they took Breath of the Wild, and they said, okay, so it's Breath of the Wild, but now we're going to add in crafting. And it would be one thing if crafting was something original or not commonly done. There's been a ridiculous amount of games in the last 10 to 15 years with the crafting aspect. The fad started with Minecraft, although admittedly there were
Not really. It did not start with Minecraft. There are other games before Minecraft that did crafting, Phil.
many other games that utilize crafting, survival games, and even Fortnite, right? I mean, so many games have.
Fortnite, really? Fortnite tried to be a free-to-play battle royale that had build mechanics, Phil. My fucking god, how deluded are you?
This. And the fact that it seems like all they did is they took the ideas they had with the Breath of the Wild game and just said, okay, add crafting, slap it together. I don't know if that's going to be something innovative enough I don't even know if it's innovative at all.
And yet he crafts every single time. Like, I've seen people that could play this game. They've made mechs in this game. They've made mechs. They even made a sex statue with a massive erection. This game is fun, but Phil doesn't like that. People that have creativity in this game, he hates it. Because they're not having fun. They're just wasting their time while having fun. Yeah, RuneScape's one.
Honestly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know if this is going to feel like a Zelda game. If
It's still a Zelda game, Phil. It's a sequel to Breath of the fucking Wild.
half the game is, look at your environment, break something down, recombine it to make another item or vehicle or something to solve a puzzle. Like, that doesn't feel like Zelda to me.
Even though you did the ball puzzle that had a fucking vehicle in it that you could just bulldoze the balls into the puzzle, solving it. Instead, you linked them all together thinking, oh, this is how you do it. Why is it not working? What the fuck? Oh, it solved itself. Clip that, sons of bitches.
You know what I mean? And I don't know if that's what I want to do for like a 40-hour Zelda experience. I think it might take away from the core Zelda gameplay aspects that we all know and love.
No, it won't, Phil. You're just talking out of your ass with that one.
If half the game is just crafting. So I'm
Half the game is crafting. It's a gameplay mechanic, Phil.
very curious about how the new Zelda will do
Well, it got perfect fucking scores.
when everyone starts playing it, if it really is a game that's so hyper-focused on crafting. And again,
Trust me, a lot of people thought the same thing too, Cool. I almost did too until I saw the bulldozer.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up.
there's nothing wrong with crafting.
He won't even catch a horse. Wait, where do I go for the horse? Wait, I have to go talk to somebody? What?
But if you wanted to have that as part of the game, maybe have a spin-off game or something. Don't make it that this is the mainstream game we've all been waiting for now for 6 years. It's coming out, and by the way, the game's a lot of crafting, so deal with it, bro.
Deal with it, bro. Oh my god. Phil, you are considered a fuckboy that has seen no pussy and gets no bitches unless you persuade them that you're this hot shot that you're really not. You did that with Leanna. She ended up leaving your ass. You did it with Kat, and you fattened her up because, oh, if I fatten her up and make her unattractive and ugly, nobody would want her. Bro. Brosif. Brosidon. King of the fucking Broshins. Broske. It's ad bro hominin at this point.
Like, I don't know. I guess we're going to have to see. Tubs, don't worry. He said, I hope you go into it with an open mind. I am going.
He doesn't go anything with an open mind. He does nothing with an open mind. He does it with the audience's opinion. He does it with reviewers' opinions. And every single time that he does it, he always complains about it, and he always focuses on the negative. He never focuses on the positive, but he'll lie about the positives, because that's how he rolls. Fuck me, man. This is... Now I'm at the point where I'm tired. Fuck. I'm not continuing the rest of this, because it's just him going... Blah, 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 blah. It's... He's just full of shit. Yeah, God, it's 11:45. Shit, I'm not gonna get much sleep tonight. Fuck. But for those that showed up for the first part of the stream and then the second half when my power flickered, I thank you all for attending the stream. I thank you all for contributing. Contributing. all the contributions I appreciate. And to anyone that became a member, I also appreciate that too. And remind me as to why Cat has a divorce fill already. Oh, trust me, Brightside Dylan. There's already a there's already a fucking theory that he's already going through the divorce arc right now. But time will tell if this theory will actually become true. But I'm heading off to bed. I need to sleep, man. It's oh boy. Fucking boy. But yeah, keep it really beautiful, people. And to quote Chill, Phil is a bum begging bitch. Like he always is, man. He always will be a bum begging bitch. Oh no, I actually do want to do like a stream where I just do like a 24-hour stream. Don't think girlfriend would like it though, but she has to deal with it sometimes. All right, I'm gone. Y'all have a good rest of y'all tonight, day, afternoon, whatever parts of the world you are. Keep it real, beautiful people. Take care, man. And nice to have you here, Goric. Hope to see you around in like videos of mine, or you can check out my videos too if you want to. But yeah, take care, guys.